106 years ago today, the Open Championship, also known as the British Open, was first played in Scotland at the Prestwick Golf Club in Ayrshire, the oldest golf tournament in the world, and one of the four prestigious majors that rotates between a select group of coastal UK golf courses. Read more about its history. 1,860 photo credits. Greg Norman by Great White Shark Enterprises, Royal Portrush Golf Club by Average Golfer, CC licenses alongside the Masters Tournament, the PGA Championship, and the US Open. It was originally called the Open because, in theory, it is open to all, including qualifying amateur golfers. For its first 30 years, the tournament's 36 holes were played in a single day and won exclusively by Scottish players. The trophy is a claret jug, which has been presented to every champion since 1872 and is on permanent display at the clubhouse at the Golf Club of St Andrews. The winner must return the trophy before the next year's Open and then receives a replica to keep permanently. English golfer Harry Vardon holds the record for most victories, winning his sixth in 1914. Often called golf's founding father and son, Scottish golfer Tom Morris, the elder, who still holds the record for greatest Open victory margin with 13 strokes, and his son, also named Tom Morris, were both the oldest at 46 and youngest at 17 champions ever, and young Tom is still the only player ever to win 4 consecutive Open championship. More good news on this date. Hollywood star Rita Hayworth, a Latin love goddess who was the top pin-up girl for USGOs during Dublin debuting and Fred Astaire's favourite dance partner, was born. She would ultimately appear in 6 films, including Gilda and Covergirl with Gene Kelly, and be known as soft-spoken and kind. 1938, Albert Einstein arrives in the US after fleeing Nazi Germany. 1937, the film Bullet, starring Steve McQueen, and notable for its car chase to San Francisco, which is one of the most influential in movie history, was first released in 1968. Mother Teresa won the Nobel Peace Prize for her dedication to India's destitute populations. 1969, the International Day for the Eradication of Poverty was first commemorated in Paris, and later was officially recognized annually by the UN. 1908, Mary MacKillop was canonized in Rome, becoming the first Australian saint to interpret 10 years ago. The pinnacle was secured in place on the Taipei Museum, making it the highest building on Earth, surpassing the Petronas Twins of Kuala Lumpur by 1930. The building was officially classified as the world's tallest from its opening in 2004 until the 2010 completion of the Burj Khalifa. Taipei 101 is owned by Taipei Financial Center Corporation. The Taipei 101 on New Year's Eve 2016 by 0.0. Sinchen.Ling Taipei 101 was to be the world's tallest green building by the summer of 2011 as measured by LEED standards. The structure is already designed to be energy efficient, with double pane windows blocking external heat by 50 and recycled water meeting 2030 of the building's needs. The design is supposed to evoke traditional Asian aesthetics of tiered structures, while also combining what were at the time cutting-edge building plans to fortify it against typhoons and the Pacific Ring of Fire earthquakes, which the island is vulnerable to. The main tower features a series of 8 segments of 8 floors each. In Chinese-speaking cultures, the number 8 is associated with abundance, prosperity, and good fortune. The repeated segments simultaneously recall the rhythms of an Asian pagoda, a stalk of bamboo, an icon of learning and growth, and a stack of ancient Chinese ingots or money boxes, a symbol of abundance. Popular humor sometimes likens the building's shape to a stack of takeout boxes, as used in Western-style Chinese food, of course. The stackable shape of such boxes is likewise derived from the ancient money boxes. 2,369 years ago today, Mae Jemison, the astronaut who was the first African-American woman to journey into space, was born. Raised in Chicago, Dr. Jemison earned a degree in chemical engineering along with a medical degree and learned Russian, Swahili, and Japanese. She was elected to serve as a mission specialist aboard the Space Shuttle Endeavour STS-47 launch. She orbited the Earth for nearly 8 days on September 15, 1930, and conducted a bone cell research experiment during her 19 orbits of Earth. Jemison was a doctor for the Peace Corps in Liberia and Sierra Leone in the 80s and practiced medicine as a general practitioner before pursuing becoming an astronaut and applying to NASA. Jemison left the agency in 1973 and founded a technology research company and later a non-profit foundation, and appeared in an episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation. She also authored several children's books and an autobiography, Find Where the Wind Goes. 1980, also on this day in 1485 BCE, King Cyrus the Great of Persia unified 2 separate Iranian kingdoms, marched into the city of Babylon, and released the Jews from almost so many years of exile, and made what's been called the first human rights declaration. By offering generosity instead of repression and by favoring local religions, he was able to turn his newly conquered subjects into enthusiastic supporters. Also, the story goes, as a result of Cyrus' policies, the Jews honored him as a dignified and righteous king. He is the only Gentile to be designated as a Messiah, a divinely appointed king in the Hebrew Bible. And on this day 110 years ago, Arthur Miller, the prolific American playwright and essayist, was born. His 1949 tragedy Death of a Salesman is one of the finest American plays of the 20th century. He wrote his second play as a final attempt after his first one flopped. If he didn't succeed, he vowed to find some other line of work. All My Sons was performed 28 times in 1941 and won the New York Drama Critics Circle Award and